Good morning, everybody. This is Damon Bond of Bond Realty Group, licensed real estate broker in the states of Connecticut and New York. Hope everybody's doing well. Today is Monday, October 8th, 2018. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to Real Talk, where we talk about real estate issues that may affect you or not affect you, certainly affect somebody that you know and want to give them some information. So please, if you like this, like it on Facebook, YouTube, share it, please. I'm always happy, and I've done it on numerous occasions, answer any and all questions you have. You always email me at dbond011 at gmail.com. That is dbond011 at gmail.com. You can always give me a call, 203-394-8123, 203-394-8123. All right, hope everybody's doing well today. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. For some of you, it is supposed to be a federal holiday, I guess. It's Columbus Day, so if you have the day off, then, enjoy. Okay, today what I wanted to do is I wanted to recap, because I've been speaking about investment properties, in the past 2 or 3 video posts, and I just want to kind of recap and put everything in, because sometimes you get information and it's scattered all over the place. I was going to make it into a nice, neat, complete package, because I do talk about REO big old properties, and once again, that seems to be very popular. It's a recap of everything, all the investments that you can make as a person. So let's recap these things, if you will. Okay. Focusing strictly on residential. One type of investment you get is, of course, multifamily. That's between 1 and 4 family. You could do that if you plan to live in one of the units. Then yes, you get an FHA if you're a first-time home buyer and have tenants living in the other 2 or 3 units. If you're here in the state of Connecticut, you qualify for a CHFA loan as well. Connecticut Housing Finance Authority, that's an exclusive for Connecticut. But New York, you certainly could qualify for a FHA, as well as nationwide for that matter. And depending on why I focus strictly prominently in New York and Connecticut, that's where my so-called area of expertise is, or I'm familiar with, because that's where I practice real estate. In your municipality jurisdictions, your city, your town, or state may have some incentive as well as for you. Now, I must say, as a disclaimer, I'm very biased in favor of 1 to 4 families. So if you can, I'd say that's the best way to go. Get a 4 family, live in 1 unit, and let the other 3 units pay for your mortgage, and then get some money left over. I happen to like that out of the best of the options. But some people like their space like that, their single family house. So that's fine. That whatever works for you. But that's just happens to be one of my personal favorites, is the 2 to 4 family unit dwellings. So you could do that. That's an option. That's a good investment to do. And let's say you do that for a while, and you living rent free has been good. You can always move out, purchase another property for yourself, where you have your, single family house, and put somebody in your unit. All right, then you're collecting rents from all 4 units or 3 units. I'd say if you can, try to maximize it. If you can, by all means, get a 4 family. But if you can't get a 4 family, certainly a 2 family or a 3 family will be good as well. I'm not, discounting those. I'm just saying what my preference is, but certainly a 2 to 4 family. And by the way, I'll just let you know, for the people who buy 2 family houses, sometimes they have that attic space, which is huge. It's like, 1,000 square feet. It's still legally a 2 family. The only way that attic space can be legal, just to let you know as a disclaimer, is if there has to be 2 areas of egress, if you will, 2 areas to escape. So a lot of times, the back staircase will bring you upstairs. That's fine, but you also need a front entrance as well. So if it doesn't have that, then, that's not good. Now, I know a lot of owners, landlords, will utilize that 3rd space as an apartment illegally. You just don't want to do it. It's not worth it, because, what happens if the problem with the gas, 2nd floor, you don't want to do that, So if you're going to have a 3 family, if you want to use it as a 3 family, just put the money in, do it the right way, so there's no problems for you, just as a heads up. So option number 1, 2 to 4 family multi-property, right? Option number 2, and if we're just sticking with residential, you get yourself a condo. Now, condos are great, but you're not going to be able to do FHA because, I don't think, because you won't be living there or anything like this. It's not going to be owner occupied. Condos are great. I will say, when doing the condos, take a couple things into considerations. Number 1, how much are the common charges? And number two, find out what is the rule in terms of renting out, because some condo boards are very liberal. You could rent it in, no problem. They've had no problem with it. Others, they restrict, about you renting out your units or whatnot. So check that out. But that's another viable alternative. Getting a condominium, and then you get a garden apartment, rent style. One floor, you get a townhouse. Some people like the townhouse because of the separation between the floors. That's an individual choice. Well, certainly you can do that. So that's option number two. Option number three, and this is primarily in for my New York City people, all right, and my Westchester people. That's a co-op. Now I did a whole video before on the difference between co-ops and condos. Now with co-ops, they may have strict laws regarding you renting out your unit, okay? So you may certainly want to look at that. If it's not a problem, then by all means, go for a co-op. But you should know how I feel about co-ops. You could check that out in my other videos, okay? It's called co-op versus condos. So that's another option. So far we have multifamily unit dwelling. We have condos, we have co-ops. Once again, check out the maintenance fee for the co-ops as well. All right, that's very, very important. Another residential option you want to do certainly is you probably want to invest in some. Let's tip of my tongue. Sorry, I just had a senior moment, if you will. Another option you may want to consider in terms of residential is, of course, a single family house. Now, obviously, you're not going to live there, so you can't get an FHA loan or a CHFA loan for that. And this is, of course, you find a property either through short sale or as an REO owned bank auction, whatever it is, you flip it and then you sell it, or you can rent it out. Depending on what you want to do, that's entirely up to you. So you may want to hold on to it, retain it, hold on to it, or you may want to sell it. So that is entirely up to you. But certainly that is another option. Buying the regular single family house and, rehabbing and fixing up and renting out. So you can do that as well. So that's my list of residentials, okay? Now, in terms of my commercial investments, you can always get first option is even though it is commercial, it's still residential. That's an apartment building, all right, or an apartment house. So that's anything 5 units or above. Remember my other video, I said the lending requirements are a little bit different, so you may want to consider that. So you may want to get a 5+ dwelling house or a small apartment building or something like that. It's more complex. It's pretty much the benefits are self-explanatory. You get a whole lot of units rented out. Okay, so that's one option. Another option too for commercial investments, if you will, you could look into getting a business, buying a store. Strike that. Another option is getting a mixed-use property. This is where you have at least one retail store or a few retail stores, all right, and then you have a couple of residential units above the store, all right. So mixed-use properties, I like. It's pretty good because you get that commercial space rent and you get that residential in there, and chances are your commercial space is going to last a lot longer than your residential space, just from what I've seen personally. So that's another good option you can do, all right. So that's something to consider. Another option you want to do in terms of commercial is you could look into buying a business, if you will, buying a business, whatever it is, and then running out the store. And the beautiful thing is you don't have to do anything to it necessarily. You see a great deal is available, you can buy it, and then you can rent it out, and then you can have the people who are buying who want to do it. You can have them fix it to any specification they want out their pocket. Or if you want to be a nice landlord, you could purchase the thing and then you rent it out and you say, we will retrofit to whatever it is. So whatever equipment or whatnot you want to put into it. Now, the understanding is I would have something certainly in the contract at least saying that even you paid for this stuff, meaning the landlord, that stuff is going to stay if you decide to vacate the premises. All right, then you have another restaurant in there or dry cleaners, whatever it is. So that's something to consider. Also, you may want to look at zoning rules depending on where your property is located, your prospective property that you want to buy. So that's another option. So a business. Something that people don't consider too much is land. Yeah, you can buy land. Land is very valuable. Land is probably more valuable than the real estate itself because remember, the real estate itself is just a dwelling that's on the land, but it's the land. So you may want to consider a nice piece of land. Sometimes people want to expand or whatnot, and you're in that way. They'll pay a premium for it. So you may want to consider some land. Certainly in urban areas, land is really scarce in urban areas. Because you can always land is but so much. So you may want to consider land as a viable option. All right, so I think it's a pretty good exhaustive list of some options you can do as an investment, as an investor. You could buy an office building, office complex. That's something else. Another option. You can buy a strip mall. Retail spaces. That's another option. So these are some good options. So let's recap. All right, in terms of the residential list, 2 to 4 family property, condo, co-op, single family house. All right, so that's 4 things. I don't think I'm missing anything. And then in terms of commercial, you could buy 5+ unit. You could buy a mixed use property. You could get a business. You could buy a business. You could do some land. All right. You could buy a strip mall or whatever it is, or office building or whatever it is. That's if you're one of the high rollers. All right. So these are some viable options. I just want to recap because sometimes I go over the place. I do apologize for that, but I just wanted to really, really narrow it home for you. All right. So if you found this useful or informational, just please like it, share it with whoever it is. You can always give me a call at 203-394-8123, 203-394-8123. You can always email me at dbond011@gmail.com. That is dbond011@gmail.com. dbond011@gmail.com. So thank you for tuning into Real Talk. It's been real. Please, ladies and gentlemen, have a good day. Stay safe. And hopefully stay dry because of some overcast, and be well. And until next time, have a wonderful morning. Good day.